Yo fam, Coach Sam from Strong Gents Coaching back with another video for you guys, and today we're going over the 4 key components to your health and fitness. But why should you listen to me, gents? Because I've been a personal trainer for a decade and counting, helping countless people achieve their health and fitness goals. But not only this, I'm an ex-ultra marathon runner, obstacle racer, and power lifter, and I did all that with a rare connective tissue disorder called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. If I can do this stuff, you can do this stuff. Gents, so what are the 4 things that you need to be focusing on if you want to make a radical change in your life, if you want to feel good, look good, and be your best self? Well, number 1 is going to be watching what you put in your mouth. Now, these 4 things come from my 7 W's of health. We're going to focus on 4 of them. So they all start with W. The first W, the first component, is watching what you put in your mouth. We got to clean up the food. We got to clean up your nutrition. I know it's an old adage and it's an old saying and you've heard it a lot, but it really is true. I'm over a decade working in this field, helping people feel good and look good. And people who eat like crap feel like crap. That is true. But there's a caveat to that. It's the people who eat like crap all the time feel like crap all the time. And eating like crap is going to look a little bit different for everybody, and some people respond different to different foods. We're all not the same. The way that I eat is not going to make you feel amazing. Well, it might, you never know. But the way you eat may not make me feel amazing. So it is individual, but there are general rules of thumb that everybody benefits from across the board. And that is, stop eating most of your diet, stop getting most of your food in your diet from junk food. Now, what is junk food? We all know what junk food is. I actually have this little game I play at the gym with newer clients or clients who, have kind of stopped seeing progress in their weight loss, or they're not taking it super serious, or they're just like, I'm trying to lose some weight and I can't figure it out. I ask them, I say, do me a favor. Off the top of your head, what are some junk foods? Like, just list junk foods. And they will rattle them off the top of the head. They'll say, oh, I know what junk food is. You want me to say cakes, pizzas, pastas. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I would consider junk food. They say fast food, fried food. I'm like, yep, keep going. Candies, yep. Snack foods, chips, pastries, cookies, brownies, donuts. Yeah, keep rattling them off. Yep, keep going. And they rattle these things off. They're like, ooh, soda's bad for you, right? And I'm like, well, we'll put it in the junk food pile, yep. And then I say, they rattle all these off, and then I say, okay, now rattle off some healthy foods. And they're like, oh, I know some healthy foods. Vegetables, fruit, cucumbers, broccoli, carrots, bananas, apples, berries. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Throw those in the good food pile. And they're like, chicken's good, right? Chicken, fish, eggs, yogurt, that's all healthy food, right? I'm like, yes, it is. They're like potatoes, rice, cereal, oatmeal. That's all healthy food, right? I'm like, yeah, well, we're going to throw it in the healthy food pile. Absolutely, right? And then I'm like, so you know what healthy food is and you know what junk food is. What are you eating more of? And more times than not, everybody's always like, oh, shit, I'm eating a lot of junk food. I'm like, yeah, let's start eating more healthy food. So key number 1 is to watch what you're putting in your mouth. Like, be accountable for your food. Be an adult in your life. Be responsible in your life. Look after yourself. What are you eating? How much are you eating it? When are you eating it? Can we change this? Can we clean it up? Can we choose better options? Because I'm going to be honest, one of the greatest dieting tactics of all time is what I use with most beginners is the swap tactic. People who are normally just starting with me, I use the swap tactic. What is that? It's literally what it says in the name. You're swapping certain foods for other foods that are better conducive to weight loss and feeling good, just in general, right? And here's the thing too. If you're overweight and you haven't exercised in a long time, you're just going to feel like crap because of also the physical situation that you're living in. And then the food's just adding to the more weight gain that you have because you're not moving or exercising and you're just continuing to gain weight from these high calorie foods. So if you just lose weight in general and start moving, even with not drastically changing your diet, you're going to feel better, right? But then that's going to motivate you to continue changing your diet. So that's why the swap tactic is great, because it's a low barrier to entry when we're talking about nutrition. All you have to do is start making better choices, right? So instead of, for example, frying your chicken, get grilled chicken, right? Or bake your chicken, okay? Instead of eating a candy bar, get a protein bar. Instead of having a milkshake, drink a protein shake, okay? Instead of having chips and salsa, have veggies and salsa. It's just these simple things off the top. These are just off the top of my head. Instead of using mayo, use mustard. Instead of using a ton of oil, use oil spray. These are just things off the top of my head. In the Strong Gents program, I have a list of like a couple hundred swaps that people use, and it's extremely effective because if you start making these swaps all the time, eventually you're not going to be making swaps anymore because you're going to be reaching for the better choice over the worst choice every single time, and then it just becomes a lifestyle. So key number one is watch what you put in your mouth. Be accountable for your food. Be responsible for yourself. What you eat is what you get in terms of how you feel and how you look. Start making better choices. Number two is going to be wake up and wind down cycles. When are you waking up in the morning and when are you winding down? Because the time that you go to sleep and the time that you wake up matters. If we can lock that in, if we can nail that down and make it consistent, your energy levels, your vibes throughout the day, your health in general, your recovery, your performance, everything is going to get that much better. We run better on sleep. Now, I have a metric. 6 is okay, 7 is better, 8 is great. If you're getting less than 6, you can't sustain it for a long time. Take it from me because I used to run on 4.5 hours of sleep, and I did it for like 3 years straight or more, and I was burned out. I had more injuries than I ever had. I had more sickness than I ever had. I succumbed to a lot more heart headaches in that time period as well because I didn't take my sleep serious. Now that I take my sleep more serious, I'm feeling way better. So take it for myself. Don't make that mistake. I thought I was just grinding, and I wouldn't do it for a long period of time. Well, guess what? Grinding too hard to the point where you're getting less than 6 hours of sleep every single night is going to make it so your performance is less, and then it's the law of diminishing returns. You do so much that you actually end up hurting yourself in return. So try and get some good sleep. Again, 6 is okay, 7 is better, and 8 is great. It's super important though. Like a lot of people don't know how to wind down and wake up at the same time. I was getting 4 hours of sleep, but I was still going to bed and waking up at the same time. I was just an idiot and working too much. But the structure of sleep is extremely important. So you should be striving to fall asleep around the same time every night and waking up around the same time every morning. A good rule of thumb is like 10 to 6, 10:30 to 6:30. You could do 9 to 5. That's what I like. 9:30 to 5:30. You could do 9 to 4:30, 9 to 4. These are time frames that you could play around with, but you really do need to prioritize your sleep, especially like as dudes, you know, because like we really do work a lot in general, and then when we get lack of sleep and then we keep working, it just piles on, the snowball effect. Then you got low energy, you start hurting more, you get a brain like mental fog, you start succumbing to more anxiety, depressive feelings, your libido's down, you get low sex drive. So we need sleep, guys. Like we really actually do need some sleep. So that's key component number 2 is learn how to wake up and wind down around relatively the same time every single night and every single morning, and you see some fantastic benefits to it. Key number 3 is going to be implementing weight training into your life at least 2 times a week, okay? 2 is good, 3 is better, 4 is great. Also, depending on your goal and your current situation will depend on how many days a week that you train. But even if you get it once a week, like goddamn, you can see some great benefits even from training just once a week. But in terms of seeing really good progress, building some good muscle, gaining some good strength, and just overall confidence, mental health confidence in general, getting in there 3 days a week is a solid option, okay? Weightlifting does a lot for you. Weightlifting is going to, like I said, help build more muscle and get you stronger. That does 2 things. 1, just for a better quality of life in general. The stronger you are, the more equipped you're going to be to handle life stressors and the obstacles that life throws your way, whether it's picking up a box, picking up a kid, fighting off a dog. Hopefully you're not fighting off a dog, but it came to the top of my head. But things like this, weight training aids in that ability in life. And if you do it for your entire life, you're going to sustain that ability longer, so you'll be able to do more functional things as you age in this life. It also increases bone density and muscle mass. That's why it's extremely important. A lot of you guys want to look good too. It's not about just losing weight and losing body fat. It's about looking good as well. And the way we look good is by building muscle. And the way we build muscle is through weight training. So you need to start weight training. Stick to the basics, guys. Keep it simple, stupid. The basics work better than anything. Try not to fall into all these fancy programs. Try not to fall into any fancy supplement programs. Stick to the basics. 2 to 3 times a week. If you really love it, you could do 4 or 5, but you'll get great results with 2 to 3 times a week, sticking to the basics. But you need to start weight training, especially for the mental, guys. I'm going to be honest. Like, we live these like soft cuddled lives with everything is comfortable. Like we live inside these houses where we can adjust the temperature to whatever we want. We drive these fancy cars. We have food at our disposal on demand. There's not a lot of real dangerous stress nowadays. So we don't necessarily have to be these physically fit monsters of the past where we had to run in the woods and climb up trees and defend ourselves from people. We don't actually need that function anymore, but it's still wired in us. It's still neurologically programmed in our brain and in our nervous system to be physically active and to feel good when we accomplish physical feats, because people in the past who accomplished physical feats, they got rewarded for it. If you were to save somebody because you freaking tossed a freaking hyena through your back onto a spear or something like that, you were paraded around the city. You were given the best food, the best drinks. It was rewarded to be physically fit, to be strong, and to attack challenges, right? So it's wired in our brain that when we do get stronger, when we do attack an obstacle and overcome it, things that we can do in the gym, we feel good. There's a reward system in our brain for that. Literally, we release dopamine, and we increases our chances of sustaining higher levels of testosterone throughout life as men. If we are physically healthy, if we're getting good sleep, we're lifting weights and building muscle, and our nutrition is dialed in, we can sustain testosterone for a longer period of time without it taking such a big blow. And that way, we have more of these reward systems, because having a lot of testosterone aids in motivation in men. There's a big correlation there. So a lot of this stuff is intertwined. It's a lot of things that work together in order to produce this grand result. But lifting weights is more than just physically rewarding. It transcends the physical, and it goes into the mental as well. So don't disregard weight training. It's extremely important. Get in the gym, lift some weights, get a pump on, get strong, accomplish goals, and see what you're capable of. See what your body can do. Work the body. You can release tension through the body. You can release energy through the body to make you feel good, more relaxed, and in general, it just makes you healthier. Your health metrics are going to get better. Your blood sugar is going to be lower. Your blood pressure is going to be lower. You're going to have better heart capacity, better heart rate variability. All these things come from lifting weights. And the last component is going to be walking, because you do need to keep the number one muscle in your body, your ticker, your heart, healthy. And we do that through cardiovascular exercise or aerobic activity. Now, the American Heart Association recommends 150 minutes of aerobic activity at a moderate intensity per week. What is moderate intensity? To me, it's a brisk walk where, if you're talking to somebody, you have to stop and take a breath for a second because you're trying to catch your breath again. But it doesn't have to be a run. Okay, it doesn't have to be a hardcore bike or a hardcore row. It could be an incline walk on the treadmill to where you're breathing a little heavy, but you can still focus on a little show that you put on your phone in front of you, or you can listen to a podcast while you're doing it, or you can have a side conversation on the phone. You just might have to take a breath, like I said. But if you break that down, 150 minutes, that's just a recommendation. Now, that's not a recommendation for weight loss. That is literally just a recommendation to sustain your heart health. Okay, it's 150 minutes a week. So if you break that down, it's 30 minutes a day for 5 days a week, or 20 minutes a day for 7 days a week, which is extremely manageable, gentlemen. You just have to get out and walk. You just have to do it. It is the most low barrier to entry cardiovascular exercise that you can choose over everything, because you don't need a machine. You really don't need a treadmill. A treadmill makes it easier in colder climates. Like here in Jersey, it's a little cold right now. Some people are afraid of the cold. They don't know why. The cold makes you tougher. I like the cold. Okay, when it's windy, that's a different story. But it's not really an excuse not to get out there and walk, especially if it's between 20 and 40 minutes. It's really not that long of a time. Strap your shoes on, layer up, get out there and get the work done, right? But the walks are not just for physical health, okay? They do aid, it's not just for the heart health. That's the most important, is the heart health. So don't disregard that, okay? But I know some of you want other reasons that you need other reasons to do something instead of just your heart health. Well, it does aid in weight loss. So you're going to lose more weight by walking more. The more you move, the more you lose. Literally, I swear to God, it happens every single time. You're going to have people out there who say, oh, don't do cardio. Cardio does not help you lose weight. They're wrong every single time. Walking is the number one cardiovascular exercise to lose weight, because there really is no burnout to it. You could just endlessly do it. And most people nowadays are way too sedentary. They sit down for way too long. We should not be telling people not to move. We should be telling people to move more. And one way to do this is by scheduling yourself a 20-minute walk every single day. Do it first thing in the morning so you don't have an excuse as to why you didn't do it. You're going to feel better after that. But aside from the weight loss and the heart health, it also is clearing your mind mentally. One of the greatest things that I have done is implement walking into my life because it's more of a form of meditation. When I'm walking, I don't bring headphones. I try not even to bring my phone. I just bring my keys so I can get back into my damn house. And what I do is I walk for 20 minutes in one direction. I do wear a watch so I know what time it is. And then I walk 20 minutes back. And during this time where I'm not connected to any technology, of course, except my watch, I know some people are going to nag me about like having that, that is technology, blah, 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 whatever. Shut up. Besides that, I'm just by myself with my thoughts, and there's not a lot of time for me to do that. And a lot of you gentlemen out there are also busy and have hectic lives. You got kids or a ton of friends, or you live with other people, or you're just constantly working, wherever the case may be. You're constantly on call. That break of not any technology or nobody contacting you and just away from your phone and away from everything gives you time to think. It gives you time to clear your mind. It gives you time to explore thoughts that you've been ignoring because you've just been too busy. So it is a form of meditation. It is a form of mental health as well, going for these walks. You're breathing in oxygen, you're getting your body moving, you're getting your blood pumping, and it just sets the day right. So if you can do it first thing in the morning, it'll be phenomenal, okay? But if you can't get it done in one shot, like if you can't do 30 minutes at one shot for whatever reason, you could do 10 minutes after breakfast, you could do 10 minutes after lunch, and 10 minutes after dinner. It's 30 minutes, do it at a brisk, 30 minutes total, do those 10 minutes at a brisk pace, and the accumulation is going to add up over time. So those are the 4 keys, gentlemen, to health and fitness. So we're going to go over them again really quick. Number 1, watch what you put in your mouth. You got to be accountable and responsible for your food, guys. Start eating healthier food choices over junk food choices. It is a good start. Start with the swap tactic. Start swapping foods. Number 2, try and get a hold of your sleep. Put the phone down. Shut the lights off around 9:30, 10:30 at night, and set a good wake up time, 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. That way, and try and do it every single day, even on the weekends. That way your circadian rhythm is in check. You get good sleep. You keep your energy levels. You don't get burnt out like I did, and you see success. You're going to lift weights, guys, to add muscle and increase your function in life. Adding muscle to your frame is going to help you look better when you do lose weight from eating better, from lifting weights, and from walking, to keep your heart health, to aid in weight loss, and to clear your mind. But why should you listen to me, gents? Because I've been a personal trainer for a decade and counting, helping countless people achieve their health and fitness goals. But not only this, I'm an ex-ultra marathon runner, obstacle racer, and power lifter. And I did all that with a rare connective tissue disorder called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. If I can do this stuff, you can do this stuff. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share this video with 2 friends. Gents, I appreciate the support. The motto here is train your life to change your life, because I truly believe we can train small aspects of our lives every single day to see a grand positive result in the future. Peace.